First, actually primarily, it gave me a chance to do a project with Stephen Carlson. And normally, he being a biblical text critic and me being a historical theologian, we intersect a little bit, but we don't actually get to work together very much. And at the same time, both of us had an interest in a particular theologian, Dionysius the Areopagite, a kind of foundational theologian for Byzantine and Eastern Christianity. And we come at him from very different angles. So Stephen approaching via text critical approaches, trying to understand the sources and nature of the text itself. Me trying to work out some of the theological legacy of this thinker. Finding that we could do this together by looking at the paratexts. So with Dionysius, the way in which he was read by generations of Byzantine theologians was they would read and then they would try to work out what he meant by making marginal notes called scholia. And so if we look at the scholia, which people really don't do very much, we can start to understand a bit more of the legacy of this theologian, as well as the experience of reading him, because over time, these scholia came to be part of the manuscript tradition. You couldn't read a manuscript of Dionysius without having all these marginal notes, hundreds and hundreds of notes, ranging from short definitions to full-length essays. And encountering that composite text creates a certain kind of reading experience. And this project allows us to open that up. The way the scholia are presented, you know they're important. You've got to know what they say to understand what Dionysius is saying, but they're really hard to read. The way they are presented on the manuscript page makes them really challenging. So what is that experience like? Well, we're hoping that 3 years from now, we will have a better sense of it through scientific testing, through data collection, and through the museum space of seeing what we can do with visitors to these exhibits, seeing how they experience these manuscripts, how they experience these pages. We will have a better sense of what maybe a Byzantine reader got. And we can bring that into conversation with our own kind of contemporary approaches, which may be quite different. Scholia are about creating a conversation over time. They're about joining a conversation over time. Every time you write in the margins of your book, you are saying something to the author and letting the author say something new to you. And if you then give that book to someone and they make notes, they're joining the conversation. And this is exactly what's happening with the scholia in manuscripts. Every time someone reads it, they add their voice. Well, if we can bring not just the bare text, but that whole conversation to the modern reader, well, then they can really participate too. And it's richer, it's thicker. It's not just a now and then, it's a now and every moment between. And that, to me, is going to make us better readers, better historians, better philologists, and ultimately, I think, more sympathetic people.